By the end of next year, pandas could be gone from America's zoos. The National Zoo's 3 giant pandas are set to return to China in December with no public signs the 50-year-old exchange agreement struck by President Richard Nixon will continue. Washington, wearing an "I love pandas" t-shirt and clutching a panda-covered diary, Kelsey Lambert bubbled with excitement as she glimpsed the real thing. She and her mother, Allison, had made a special trip from San Antonio just to watch the National Zoo's furry rock stars casually munching bamboo and rolling around on the grass. "It felt completely amazing," Kelsey, age 10, said Friday. "My mom has always promised she would take me one day. So we had to do it now that they're going away." The National Zoo's 3 giant pandas, Mei Xiang, Tian Tian and their cub Xiao Qi Ji, were set to return to China in early December with no public signs that the 50-year-old exchange agreement struck by President Richard Nixon will continue. National Zoo officials have remained tight-lipped about the prospects of renewing or extending the agreement, and repeated attempts to gain comment on the state of the negotiations did not receive a response. However, the public stance of the zoo has been decidedly pessimistic, treating these remaining months as the end of an era. The zoo just finished a week-long celebration called Pandapalooza, a giant farewell. The potential end of the National Zoo's panda era comes amid what veteran China watchers say is a larger trend. With diplomatic tensions running high between Beijing and a number of Western governments, China appears to be gradually pulling back its pandas from multiple Western zoos as their agreements expire. Dennis Wilder, a senior fellow at Georgetown University's Initiative for U.S.-China Dialogue on Global Issues, called the trend punitive panda diplomacy, noting that 2 other American zoos have lost their pandas in recent years, while zoos in Scotland and Australia are facing similar departures with no signs of their loan agreements being renewed. Children was an adult couple with a baby on the way, each wearing matching panda ears headbands. Colleen Blue and John Nungesser came from outside Philadelphia to see the pandas. This was Blue's 3rd time. "I've been obsessed with them since I was little. I used to just bury people in panda facts," she said. Nungesser nodded, adding, "On our first date, she went on and on about pandas." Blue said she broke into tears and had a temper tantrum when she found out that Washington's pandas would be leaving. The couple is already making plans, after their baby is born, to take the infant to see the pandas in Atlanta next summer before they leave. And Allison Lambert, Kelsey's mom, said she remains optimistic that both sides will work out an agreement simply because it's mutually beneficial. And if they don't, Kelsey is already developing Plan B. "We could always fly to China," she said. "That works, too." Giant panda and red panda. High in dense bamboo forests in the misty, rainy mountains of southwestern China lives one of the world's rarest mammals, the giant panda, also called the panda. Only about 1,500 of these black and white bears survive in the wild. Pandas eat almost nothing but bamboo shoots and leaves. Occasionally they eat other vegetation, fish, or small mammals, but bamboo accounts for 99% of their diets. Pandas eat fast, they eat a lot, and they spend about 12 hours a day doing it. The reason? They digest only about a fifth of what they eat. Overall, bamboo is not very nutritious. To stay healthy, they have to eat a lot, up to 15% of their body weight in 12 hours, so they eat fast. Pandas' molars are very broad and flat. The shape of the teeth helps the animals crush the bamboo shoots, leaves, and stems that they eat. They can chomp on bamboo up to 1.5 inches thick. To get the bamboo to their mouths, they hold the stems with their front paws, which have enlarged wrist bones that act as thumbs for gripping. A panda should have at least 2 bamboo species where it lives, or it will starve. A scarcity in bamboo threatens the already limited panda population. An adult female panda weighs 200 pounds. Pandas can climb as high as 13,000 feet and are also very good swimmers. Sometimes male pandas relax by doing handstands against trees. Pandas are shy, they don't venture into areas where people live. This restricts pandas to very limited areas. Red pandas with nowhere to go, making it harder for them to survive forests fragmented by new roads or leaving. Red pandas, which are native to Nepal, Bhutan and southwestern China, are being driven nearer to extinction by forest fragmentation and exploitation. Much of the red panda's range lies outside of designated protected areas, leaving this vulnerable species, already listed as endangered on the IUCN Red List, at-risk habitat losses, forests are cut down for development, agriculture or firewood. In one of only a handful of studies conducted on wild red panda populations, scientists from Australia, in collaboration with the Red Panda Network in Rotterdam Zoo, have been tracking Nepalese pandas over a 12-month period using GPS tracking collars. The results are worrying, says Damber Bista, lead author of the study. Human activity such as road building is causing the animals to restrict their movements, resulting in population isolation. As the availability of suitable forests shrink, the pandas must choose between living closer to predators or trying to adapt to life alongside humans. It's a trade-off that can lead to population declines in the long run, adds Bista. The study highlights the need for minimizing disturbance from human activities and recommends strict regulations on building work during biologically sensitive times such as mating and birthing seasons, as well as conservation programs that focus on maintaining habitat continuity. It's difficult to know how many red pandas are left in the world, but it is estimated that between 500 and 1,000 are in Nepal, says Bista. I am concerned about the future of this species. These mammals spend most of their time in trees and are famous for their incredible acrobatic skills. Common name: red panda. Scientific name: Ilurus fulgens. Type: mammals. Diet: omnivore. Average lifespan in the wild: 8 to 10 years. Size: 22 to 25 inches, plus tail of 15 to 19 inches. Weight: 8 to 17 pounds. A red panda totters along the branch of an evergreen tree, placing one paw in front of the other like a gymnast on a balance beam. But then, whoops, the panda loses its footing. A fall from this height, about 100 feet, could be deadly. But the panda quickly grips the branch with all four paws and some seriously sharp claws, steadies itself, and keeps moving. Forest acrobats. Red pandas and giant pandas share a similar name, and a love for bamboo, but they aren't closely related. Scientists think that red pandas are more closely related to weasels, raccoons, and skunks. And while giant pandas spend most of their time plodding around on the ground looking for food, red pandas spend about 90% of their time in the trees in the misty mountains of Nepal, Myanmar, and central China where they live. In fact, red pandas have adapted so well to life in the trees that they're famous for their incredible acrobatic skills. They even have a special thumb-like wrist bone that helps them get an extra grip when climbing. While they can't exactly extend their arms like an acrobat to keep their balance, they can use their tails. If a red panda starts to lean in one direction, it can swing its tail the opposite way to steady itself. Spending time in trees is how these animals avoid predators, such as snow leopards. Their reddish coats and white face markings provide camouflage in the red-brown moss and white lichen of trees where they live. About the only time red pandas go to the ground is to, go. And they scamper down tree trunks headfirst. How? They rotate their ankles 180 degrees, that's like being able to turn your foot backward. The move gives their curved claws a better angle to hang onto the bark. Saving red pandas. Red pandas are endangered. Their forest homes are being cut down, and poachers hunt them for their fur. And their adorableness might put them in more danger, since they're ideal targets for the illegal pet trade. Luckily, people are trying to help. For instance, the Red Panda Network hires local people to be forest guardians. These panda pals keep watch over the red pandas in Nepal, replant bamboo, and help paying tourists observe them without disturbing the creatures. Other organizations are using high-tech methods to track poachers. By taking a DNA sample from a red panda rescued from the black market, conservationists can learn where the animals are being taken from.